Voices of CFMA, Construction and Financial Management Association's brand new podcast featuring conversations with our members. I'm your host, Kate Platt, CFMA's marketing coordinator. This month, I'm joined by Chief Financial Officer of Ebisari Foundation Company out of Miami, Florida, Miami-Dade Chapter President, and Certified Construction Industry Professional, Yvette Aubin. Welcome, Yvette.
Hi, Kate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Okay, let's get into this. How exactly did you get into this line of work?
So I am a CPA by trade, and I did work for a public accounting firm for a number of years before coming into the private sector. The partners at the firm that I worked for always thought I was up for a challenge. So I ended up at some complex audits such as precious metal trading, pension plans, construction industry, and government audits.
So all the fun stuff.
Yes, if for most accountants, those are all the fun stuff.
Okay, and how did you get into CFMA and work your way up to chapter president?
So I would say it was about 2008 when I was approached by Daryl Lipman, the then chapter president of the South Florida chapter. We were doing a project for him regarding deep foundations, and he gave me a call and he let me know about CFMA and what it was about and its mission. And I was actually really interested in hearing what he had to say. I had never heard about CFMA before. And so he brought me to one of the meetings where you can attend for free as a potential incoming member. And I was amazed at the wealth of knowledge that was available to me. And we had about 85 members attend that meeting. And I saw the potential of networking possibilities that CFMA was offering. And so I was very interested.
And then next thing you know, you're working your way through the chapter board up to chapter president?
Well, that was the South Florida chapter. The Miami-Dade chapter didn't exist back then. So this was 2008. The Miami-Dade chapter came into existence in 2015 when a group of members from the South Florida chapter started a local chapter in Miami. They are about an hour and a half in distance. And so some of those members thought it was a good idea to make a local chapter in Miami. I did work my way up to being chapter president. I am the current president of the chapter.
What is your favorite project that you've worked on with, at any point in your career? Is there one project where you sit back and think, wow, I helped make this a reality?
I would have to say it's the South Point Pier in Miami Beach, Florida. This is a pier that is seen on television, it's seen on aerial photos, it's seen by people leaving on cruise ships. It's the most photographed pier in actually the southeastern portion of the United States.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. We completed that project in about 2013, and I think it was just amazing the amount of work that went into it and the difficulty the project had that was able to be accomplished.
And now you get to smile and say, I helped make that every time you go past it, right?
Yes, it's great.
That's awesome. In your career, what has been the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I would say that it was actually given to me by my father, and it was cooler heads always prevail. The reason I think that that's an important statement is that there are times when we allow our emotions to take over and we are not able to think critically. So I think it's very important for us to set our emotions aside when it comes to important matters and decision making. That way we have the ability to be able to obtain all the facts clearly and make a clear decision without allowing our emotions to affect the outcome.
That's great advice. Take that moment, pause, think it over and then give your reaction.
Yeah. And so it wasn't necessarily career advice. I think it's great life advice, but it applies to everything, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you meet someone new to the industry, is there any pearl of wisdom that you impart on them?
I think that one of the most important things is to learn from others in the industry, to see the experience that others bring to the table, and to be able to take anything you can from it, because everyone has a different perspective, everyone has a different background, everyone has a different experience and extent of experience. And any one person can provide you good information, good facts, good ethics in being able to make decisions and gain more experience in this industry. As you know, the construction industry is different from many other industries, and it is a little bit more complex. So I think anything you can get from what people bring to the table will help you in the long run.
That's great advice. Looking for help and information from wherever you can. I feel like a lot of people surprise you with the knowledge that they have.
I agree with you on that statement. I'd have to say that sometimes even within the construction industry, companies are different, and the mini industries in the construction industry are different, and so you never know what you can take from someone that does something a little different than the way you do it, and you never know what efficiencies you can find to better yourself and better your company and your time in the long run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we let you go here, September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month in the United States. And I was hoping you'd share a little bit about your experience in the industry as a Hispanic woman.
Sure. So obviously, being based in Miami, I would say the majority of the people in the construction industry are Hispanic. And so you get a little bit of a different take uh, from Hispanics in general, in life and in industry. I have worked in different parts of the country with other companies, and I'd have to say that the Hispanics bring a little twist or a little, vibrant life to everything they do. And so the construction industry with Hispanics is kind of a party sometimes. And so, who can say no to a party?
That's fair. Do you see much of a difference when you work with other companies throughout the country, not necessarily because of the lack of Hispanic party, to use your phrasing, but just a cultural difference between Florida and another state, or South Florida even in another state?
There definitely is a cultural difference. I think that the Hispanics are more vocal, they're more upfront, and they tell it like it is. And so I haven't experienced that too much outside of Florida in my experience in the construction industry. And so it is a welcome difference what we have down here. I like to hear people kind of get their points across and get their messages out and be clear about what they want and what they expect. And so it is a welcome difference for me, at least.
That's fair. Yeah, we're all about getting your specific perspective here because we have over 9,000 members and everyone has a different story to tell and everyone, has a different journey, and you're our first South Florida guest. So I'm always interested to hear what life is like in South Florida. Yvette, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Voices of CFMA. If you're interested in getting involved with a chapter, make sure to check out cfma.org/chapter to find the latest information on your local chapter. That's all for this time. Join us next month when we sit down with Steve Feinberg to talk about his career and the 2020 Financial Benchmarker. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe and share on social media.